The Panther football program has many former players that go on to have successful NFL careers, such as Chad Reinhardt, Brad Meester, Dedrick Ward, Bryce Pop, Kurt Warner, and others. But the Panther football family keeps in touch with more than just the big-named pros whose playing careers continue following their time at UNI. Whether it's keeping in touch with past teammates or coaches, many players that put their blood, sweat, and tears into the football program have a strong bond to those other men that stood next to them on the field. We caught up with a few of those players who were in Ames preparing to cheer on their alma mater to a season-opening win over Iowa State. Years after their football careers end, many former Panthers continue to stay connected to each other and the program that helped shape them into the people they are today. Each player has a connection to other teammates and coaches, no matter what years they played at UNI.
I tell you, when I was playing at UNI, one of the things that was interesting is Coach Farley was a grad assistant for the defense, and Bryce Pop actually was a year younger than me. So it's interesting to come to these games today and stay connected with UNI, not only because of the history I had with the school and with the football program, but I know Coach Farley in terms of when he was actually just kind of starting out getting into coaching, and then you've got a coach right now like Bryce Pop that I knew actually as a player.
When I was in school, I spent a lot of time with Mackenzie Homebrecker and Derek Frost, and Derek had about a 5-year career in the NFL, and him and Derek and I, or Mackenzie and Derek and I, we spend probably a weekend together every 8 weeks or so, and Derek still lives out in the Virginia area from his time with the Redskins, and we actually, Mackenzie got married a couple of weeks ago, and we all had a lot of fun together down there in Missouri, and these are guys that we talk all the time. It's just it's a great relationship that we have, because of the time we spent together in Cedar Falls.
Back to witness the Panther victory over Iowa State, the football alums all try to stay connected in some way. Some still live close, while one Panther caught up with the team when he was living in Youngstown, Ohio.
It was fun to watch the Panthers come out to Ohio, and we had some friends that traveled out and stayed with us, and then actually some other football guys are Cleveland and around the area, so we all kind of hooked up and were able to tailgate a little bit and watch the Panthers.
And not only did I play there, but my daughter, who actually plays soccer there today, it's kind of a family tradition to be involved not only with UNI, but also with UNI athletics as well.
One group of past football players that have a special bond to the current team are offensive linemen, as UNI's offensive line coach Rick Nelson is a former player himself and has been on staff for 24 years following his own playing days at UNI.
When I think of Coach Nelson, Coach Nelson's somebody that's been involved with all players. He's really stayed in touch with all of his offensive linemen really well over the years, and he's managed to keep generations of offensive linemen together. I am in touch with the guys that were offensive linemen, before I even got to school there because of Nelly, and he's just a great guy, and he's not afraid to sit down and have a talk with you, and no matter who you are or when you played, he's always somebody that's got just a minute for you. Just what a great guy to have around the Northern Iowa football program.
I always love to come back the start of fall. This is the opening weekend of college football, and it's been a real joy to reconnect with some of the old guys, and hopefully we can cheer the Panthers on to victory.
The in-state battle between the Panthers and the Cyclones allowed not just fans a good time, but former football players were allowed to remember their time playing in some big games and how things have continued to progress for UNI football.
Well, the thing about playing at Jack Trice and at Iowa State is, even though a lot of times the coaches and the staff like to downplay the game, it's a big game, especially for Iowa kids. And so the excitement of being able not only to be in that stadium, but to play that team with the chance of actually winning a game is pretty significant.
We're not just going to play you, we're not just going to show up and take our game check, but we're going to show up and we're going to give you a fight, and we're going to get a chance to get a W at the end of the day. And that's one of the things that I've really loved to watch this series evolve over the last 15 years or so. It's been fantastic to watch.